Hello everyone, welcome back to another week of Heuristics Science Facebook Live. I'm Miss Sayuri and I'll be your host for tonight. Now, actually, we have not been doing Facebook Live for a while already, right? Yes, that's because, well, the June holiday break ended up being longer than we thought. Yes, okay, so we were quite busy during the June holiday, but we're always happy to host Facebook Live again, okay, out of our free time so that we can help everyone to learn science more. Okay, so as you can see, currently I am at there's a whiteboard behind me. Okay, so I'm at actually one of the centers that has whiteboard. Mm. Yes. Okay. So if you're in the house, please say hello. Okay, so that I know you're here. And if you are any of our students, just say okay, like I am so and so. Just say hello. We will pin you on the screen. Your comments will be shown here as and when it comes. Okay, so today we are doing experiment-based question. Now I know that the worksheet isn't sent yet. Okay, maybe I'll get one of our teachers to send in the worksheet into Telegram group. Okay, so if you don't have our Telegram, which is where we post all our worksheets and all our updates, let me find how to get there. Yes, there is a link right here. Let me post it. Okay, so this is the link to our Telegram page. So that would be a good place to receive updates and also download worksheets. Okay, guys, so I think it will be there soon if we just finish making the worksheet, right? And yeah, there was too many good questions to put in this time. Okay, so we had to cut out some. So experiment-based question. Later on, right, we'll be also pulling in real PSLE science questions. Then you see how weird the questions are. Okay, can or not? Okay, so currently, today I actually have two special guests. One of them is coming in first, then later on we have another teacher joining us. Can or not? So now, the comments are actually very quiet. Are you all in the house? If you are, please say hi so that I know who you are. Who you are? Come. Anyone in? All right, you could type hello, you can use the comments, right? And also I will need you to like participate. Okay, we seem to have forgotten how to do Facebook Live already, it's been a while. Okay, so usually what happens is that thank you. Usually what happens is that we will interact, okay? One way though, because I'm talking to you, but you can still comment your answers, you can ask questions as and when, okay? And just try not to type things that are not relevant to today's Facebook Live. And then we will answer in due time. Can or not? Okay, great. So without further ado, I would like to invite our very first special guest, which is Teacher Jovan. Hello.
Hello everyone. It's really been a while since we last saw each other on Facebook Live. So yes, hello. Hi Hugo. Can see your comment. So Johnny also. It's been a while. So I've actually heard whatever Teacher Sayuri said. So yes, I'm not gonna reiterate whatever she said.
Okay, great. Hi, Hugo. Thanks for joining. Okay, so now if you can help us to interact this video, help us to like and share this video so that we can reach out to more people. Okay, if you don't want to share, it's okay. Just press the like button. Okay, so currently, okay, let's actually get into it already. So let's, yeah, okay, can. So over here today, we're talking about experiment-based question. We're not talking about like experiment, like you don't get to play it, right? Okay, these are questions that is relating to an experiment and you have a certain way to answer them. Okay, so we're gonna go down to the basic first. All right, so over here there are three different variables that you need to know. Okay, in your school you will call it change variable, constant variable, and measure variable. Sometimes they'll just say, oh, what's the dependent variable, what's the independent variable, but that is kind of phased out already. You still see it in secondary school, okay, but in primary school I think we have standardized to change, constant, and measure. Okay,
I
so
think
the very first one, yes,
it's more
yes.
obvious when it's change rather than independent. Because I think students tend to get confused between independent and the dependent variable. So
Actually, I'm very envious. When I was like in primary school, right, I really couldn't understand what is independent and
yeah,
dependent. always get it wrong. Yeah.
I had a hard time also.
That's why. So, Teacher Luel, hello. It's like another mystery guest appearance in the comment. Hey, thanks for joining us. Okay, so in this case here, we have the change variable, which is independent variable. It's actually the one thing that you change in the experiment. Okay, so if you want to know if, let's say, the amount of water would affect how affect the height of the plant. You want to see how tall the plant grows, right? You would change water and keep everything else the same, which is my next point, constant variable, the thing that needs to be kept unchanged, okay, to remain the same. But enough playing. Okay, remain the same. Okay, right below.
Yeah, remain the same will be better.
Yes. Okay, so everything else must remain the same. And actually, there's a lot of consideration when it comes to designing an experiment. So, right, you all have to be very, very familiar with these three variables as we go along. It is going to appear in everything. Okay, so last but not least, I think you all know this. Measured variable would be something to find out the variable. Oh dear. Okay, I think there's some missing words here. Maybe you need to think. Hold on. Hmm.
You think measure to find out the
I feel like
measured
there's
variable.
more words. Yeah, the find out the more
Awkward.
the I to find out the outcome. Okay, to
Yeah.
find out if the measured variable is affected by the change variable. So never mind. You'll just write change variable in. Okay, so that's the variable that actually gives you your result. So if you want to find out the strength of the magnet, you would actually maybe use staple bullets, use paper clips, as long as you have a way to tell what is the result of the experiment. I think you're going to measure that. So that is the uh, thing, right? So actually, right, many students always confuse change variable and measured variable, and I don't know why. It's because they see the number changing. So like if let's say I have 10 coils of wire around an electromagnet, okay, then after that you attract one paperclip. Then by the time you get to 5 coils of wire around the electromagnet, you can attract 50 paperclips. Right? And then both of them are changing. Yes, the numbers are changing, but it depends on this. So again, right, I think the origin of the word also helps a little bit because whatever result you get, it's going to depend on whatever you change. So if you change the number of coils and you see that your strength is increasing, your strength is the measured variable, and over here is because you manipulated the change variable, which is maybe the number of coils of wire around the electromagnet. Okay, so now in this case here, there are just some
Teacher
examples.
Sayuri,
Mhm.
I got one thing to reiterate, right? For measure variable, sometimes students tend to confuse. Like, sometimes we say you can identify the measure variable from the aim, right? Right, but it's not always the case because let's say what if my aim says that the amount of sunlight affects sorry the amount of sunlight affects the rate of photosynthesis. So my measured variable cannot be the rate of photosynthesis, but then it can be in terms of how much bubbles. Imagine if it's a water plant, right? So it can be measured in how much bubbles is produced in a certain amount of time frame, rather than the measured variable being the rate of photosynthesis. So it must be
Yes.
something that you can physically measure itself, and that would be your measured variable.
I agree. Yes, so we really need to like look at the question. So that's why today we prepared 4 questions. Okay, it might be long. Okay, so stick with us. 4 questions to talk about the kind of question to actually. Oh, what am I saying? Okay, so I think there's a photosynthesis question just below as well. I think question 4. So later
Mm.
on, what teacher Joven say will be relevant. Okay, but very first thing, when you see your aim, right, you can already tell. So right, I always tell my students to highlight the aim. And you all still don't do that. Please do that right now. Okay, so your aim is really already going to tell you your change variable and measured variable. Even if it is not obvious, okay, you can still pick it out. Yes. Okay, so currently now teacher Jovan, I'll pass this part to you.
Okay, so let's take a look at the first aim, right? So it says that David wants to investigate how the temperature of water affects time the potato takes to cook. So first, we need to see, earlier on I mentioned, right, your aim, you can actually somewhat or rather identify your change and your measured variable. So the measured variable in this case, he wants to investigate how the temperature of the water, right, affects. So every time when you see temperature of water or something affects something, right? So the phrase or the word before affect would be your change variable. So right now he wants to change David wants to change the temperature of the water. So I can have 50 degrees, I can have 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, to find out how much time a potato takes to cook. So right now my change variable will be the temperature of water, and then my measured variable will be the time taken for the potato to cook. Okay, it's relatively simple, whereas you just take a look at the keyword, which is affects. So anything before the word affects, right, it will be your change variable because something will affect something. So back to the root word, right, dependent and independent. So your independent variable, right, will be the temperature of the water, and your dependent variable, because temperature of the water affects the time taken, right? So the time taken for a potato to cook is dependent on the temperature of the water. Yes.
And having said that, right, you all can already guess what kind, not guess, but deduce what kind of constant variables would be in this experiment that David wants to do. So if you're already doing change variable as temperature of water, what are some things that could be constant variables, things that you keep the same in the experiment? Anybody? The comment section haven't warmed up yet. Some years we have, whoa, I can't even keep up with the conversation. But
Yeah.
currently, those of you who are in, thank you for taking your time to be here. What are some constant variables that you all can think of just for this David's potato experiment? Anything?
Anyone? You can just put it inside the comments. They're a bit shy today.
Yeah, so that's why we need to hold more regular Facebook Live so that like the audience will warm up a little bit. We took a 1 month break.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
okay. There'll be more surprises as we go along the way.
Yes, okay, great. So constant variable, usually in my class, I just write conv because constant is a very long word and CV sounds like change variable. So I just write conv. Mr. Jovan, how
Yes,
do you actually write constant variable in your class?
I just spelled the whole thing out actually. Because
It's
I
very
use
good.
iPad to write, so it's
Yes.
rather different. It's very different from typing. So yes,
Okay.
I see some question from Shang Long. He says the amount of water and Ng Zhi the using the same type of potato. Yes.
Ah, very good. Okay, so I want to expand on Shanlong Chen's answer, which is the amount of water. That is very important. Okay, so over here, yeah, it's not the same, right? Let me just bring it up a little bit more. You know why? Because the amount of water is going to determine how much heat energy is in the water. So, right, if let's say I got 80 degrees Celsius with 100 ml water versus 80 degrees Celsius of 500 ml of water, right? The one with more water will have more heat energy. But of course, this one, even if it's the same amount of water, there will be already more heat energy because it's 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, so yes, the amount of water, that's good. And also, one more what's that type of potato. Okay, so Hugo, don't need to write the word same anymore because when I ask you what is constant variable, it's already the same. So you can't do like the same. No need. Okay, so in this case here, the amount of water and also the type of potato for sure, right? Because like different potato, different size potato will be affect the experiment how long it takes to cook. Its surface area and all that will be different also. Okay, great. So now we're gonna skip through the next few ones.
Yes. So now we got Jacob trying to find out how the size of the electric current affects a bulb's brightness. So the thing is, same thing. Whatever before the word affects, right? The phrase before the word affects will be your change variable, and then the phrase or the words after affects will be the measured variable.
When they say size of electric current, well, okay, I want to take away those words. Size of electric current, right? How do we change the size of electric current, Mr. Jovan?
That's a good question. So there are a few ways how we can change the size of the electric current. Actually, the main one way is adding more what? Can I see some answer in the comments? Adding more what? What can we add, right? In order for me to increase or right now they ask how the size, right? So we're changing the size. It can be increased or decreased. So what are some of the ways that we can increase and or decrease the size of the electric current? Anyone in the comments?
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Johnny. I see the word batteries. Yes, thank
Batteries,
you.
batteries cannot have batteries only. Batteries what? Color of batteries?
Oh yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Oh,
thank
I have more comments here. Thank you very much. I am
you.
very sure, right, Teacher Jovan, like from us speaking, right, and to them
Hmm.
listening, right, there must be like a downtime of about 3 minutes at least. Okay, because you know the
Okay,
comments, right, we wait a little bit, then it comes in.
okay.
But I'm sure they're answering on the spot actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
downtime of 2 minutes max. Okay, so yes, the one that says increase the number of batteries, amount of batteries, number of batteries. Right? Okay, so let's do that. So what is the second way actually, Teacher Joven? I mean, I'm thinking of something, but I don't know
Secondly,
whether we.
maybe what about changing the keyword start with A? Maybe
Hmm.
A something. Anyone in the comments? AR. Okay, thank you, Teacher Sayuri, for giving the second and third letter. ARR.
I'm very
Okay,
good at giving more.
anyone? Yes,
That's
thank
right.
you. The arrangement of the circuit itself,
The arrangement of the bulbs actually
of the
in the circuit.
bulbs yes, in the
Hmm.
circuit.
That's right. Okay, so parallel arrangement, you have actually all of the batteries electric current. But if you were to put it in series arrangement, then if you have two bulbs, then both got to share one battery's worth of electric current. Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, teacher Jovan, I thought just now you say like as long as this is affect can really. So right then I have students right that would call this heart rate, the change variable, and number of steps, the measured the number of steps, the measured variable. Because I see the word affect, always the one in front is a change variable. Is that it?
Not really, because once the moment we see affected, right, the moment we see something is affected by what, that means the whole entire sequence will change, it will flip. Okay, so take note of the key difference between affect and affected by. Okay, there's a reason why we put two affects and two affected by lah. Okay, to kind of differentiate, to show you the differences between, they are of the same root word, but they have different meanings. In that sense, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and many students right just make that assumption that oh yeah lah, the one in front is change variable I know, they just copy blindly, and then they end up having measured variable being the change and change being the measure. So you'll have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Always speak properly and please speak out your aim. That's the second time I'm saying it. If you won't pick out your aim, right, what experiment are you doing? If you don't even know what you're trying to achieve, then there is no experiment, understand?
Hmm.
Okay, so in this case here, I think the notes we can understand. Heart rate. Heart rate is measured. I'm going to use blue, the color code. And number of steps, you change 100 steps versus 10,000 steps, maybe.
Hmm. Same thing for the next one. The height of yeah, will be the change, and how high it bounces will be the measure.
Yes. Okay, so the height, I think you can use a ruler to measure, or you can just see until where. Okay, but of course, ruler will be the most accurate.
Hmm.
Height that is dropped from. Okay, so you can stand on a chair and drop the ball, or you could go up to the 10-story building to drop the ball. But please don't do that in Singapore, you'll be fine. Okay, great. So now next one.
Okay, so I think let's jump right into the first question, right? So the first question it reads, let's read the question together, right? On a hot and dry day, Mr. Ahmad obtained 2 plastic containers and added 4 tablespoons of water to each of them. So can you see that everything right now they kind of put it right in front of your face, right? Telling you that all these are the same, correct or not? So 2 plastic container, 4 tablespoons of water to each of them. They're trying to tell you that, oh, I add exactly 4 tablespoons of water to each of them. So you can kind of tell that the 4 tablespoons of water is part of your constant variable. Okay? So she took 2 identical dry handkerchiefs, same thing, constant variable, identical. Okay? So 2 identical dry handkerchiefs and put one in each container. Each of the handkerchief was equally wet. You see the keyword equally wet as well. So no water was left in the container. So she hung the handkerchief on the clothesline as shown below and recorded the time taken for the handkerchief to dry completely. So if you take a look at the diagram, right, it says handkerchief A and handkerchief B, and keyword over there is folded twice. So jump straight into the question. We have to identify the variable, right? So part A, they ask you to identify what is the change variable. In the whole chunk of text, right, none of it, right, states the anything regarding the change variable. Yes or no? The only clue that you have, right, about the change variable is in the diagram itself, which I think it's rather simple and straightforward. So can someone tell me what is the change variable here? Anyone in the comments can tell me what's the change variable here?
Wow,
Yes.
Kai En. Hi, Kai En.
Thank you. Oh, that came out nowhere. Okay, Kayan. Yes, it's the surface area of the handkerchief. Okay, reason why? Because handkerchief A is not folded, right? And handkerchief B is actually folded 2 times. Okay, so change variable here would definitely be the exposed surface area of the handkerchief. Okay.
Do we even use handkerchiefs anymore?
Not really. I use
Not really, right? Tissue paper is in.
Tissue
Wet
paper.
wipes is in. Yeah.
Handkerchief is a bit old school.
Yes, it is. Okay.
So back to the constant variable, I think that there are quite a few constant variables that we have identified, right? I think whatever that is what Teacher Sayuri highlighted in blue is whatever constant variables are. So for example, your tablespoons of water. So amount of water in each container. Yes.
Okay, you can either do a number of tablespoons or you could do amount of water.
Amount of water. I think they're both the
Both
same.
are okay.
Yeah, both
So
are
which one would we go with?
Let's go with amount of water, shall we?
On each handkerchief?
Yeah, what about the type of handkerchief? Is there one more?
Identical handkerchief, right? So
Yes, identical.
type again size of handkerchief. So size of the original handkerchief. But then
Yeah,
after that,
not-
of course, if you have this and then you fold it, right?
Mm.
Any more?
I see one which is rather good. It says the type of material of the handkerchief.
Very good.
So I think we still have a few more.
Where the
Location.
handkerchief is. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't usually recommend to write location. If you can identify why exactly we would want to hang the handkerchief at the same place, that would be the best. Which is, we have to think about the tested focus of this question.
Hmm.
What topic is this?
Like E, maybe. Anyone got any idea what is the tested focus here? Yes. Guys, and now I'm seeing a lot of comments. Which is good. So continue the comments.
Fun, right? Okay, so you
Yeah.
like talking to us and you are seeing your comments on the chat, on the screen as well. Okay, so yes, factors affecting rate of evaporation. So you see, like location, right, would mean what? So is it really location? What is the constant variable?
Mm.
Teacher Boon, here.
Sorry? Oh, me.
Mm.
I thought you were asking. I thought you were asking the rest of the. So the factors affecting rate of evaporation. What are the three factors affecting the rate of evaporation? So first, we take a look at the whole entire what's that called? The question itself, right? Correct. So question itself says that on the hot and dry day. What does that tell you? Hot and dry day. Yes. On the first line, yes. You catch that, teacher Sayuri?
No, I didn't. That's a good one.
Miss that out, right? So first of all, we got let's start with T first, okay? Which is the temperature. What about this? The temperature. Okay? Okay. So if the higher the temperature, of course, the higher the rate of evaporation. Okay. What is W? Anyone know what is W?
Yeah, they're already saying it. They already say we
Oh,
win. Yes.
wind. Yes. They say already. Yeah, your because the first comment that came out was temperature, and it just keeps going up. So I cannot catch up.
Yes, which
Yes,
is good.
wind.
Which is good.
Yes. And anyone have any idea what is E? I think E we already kind of identified E already, which is the exposed surface area. Okay? So key thing to take note on the first sentence that says dry and hot day, right? It kind of tells you already the condition, which is the wind part, linking back to the wind and the so-called location in that sense. Okay, or the conditions. Mm. Yes, thank you. By the way, thank you, Teacher Sayuri, for typing.
Yes, because Teacher Joven's laptop has an issue, so I'm the
Yeah.
hands for now. Yeah.
And then I think we can move on to the measure variable, do we? Mm. So the measure variable here in this case, what is the measure variable here? Earlier on, we know that we are at each of them. Okay, here measure variable. Keyword it says that she recorded what? What did Mr. Ahmad recorded? He recorded the time taken for the handkerchief to dry completely. So literally just copy and paste this into the measure variable. Okay? Can just copy and paste the whole entire time taken for handkerchief to dry completely, word for word. Okay?
Copy everything. Really copy everything. Okay, so please don't cut out the words. Like even like when we talk about magnets, especially, you don't just say number of paper clips attracted. If the whole thing says number of paper clips attracted by the electromagnet, you copy the whole thing. Understand? Okay, so yeah. When it comes to experiment-based question, right? I don't know why. Like students lose mark here and then, not because they don't know, but because they don't write properly, right? So no more location. Since you are here today, let us tell you no more location as your answer. There's always something better to write. There
Yep.
you go. Mm. Okay, now aim. Aim is very easy, right? I'm just going to draw arrows in.
Yeah.
So
Aim you just need to link the measure variable and change variable inside, and then you'll get your answer. Hmm.
pretty much copy.
Yeah, literally just copy the
Hold
change
on,
variable.
yes. Uh, let's color code it. This one go here, and then measured variable. I use yellow just now, right? Fine. This
Hmm.
one go here. That's it.
Okay, So let's move on to the part E, which is okay. Just a quick introduction, right? I think just like we want to introduce what is the TCR for those first time newcomers. What
So
exactly is TCR?
for sure. Okay, so well, if you are here at Heuristic Science, you'll hear the word TCR a lot because it's like our entire brand. Okay, so it is actually like three groups of things. It's like a little, I like to call it planning pad, just to plan your answers down before you write your full answer. So of course, this doesn't exist in your exam paper, right? But it really, right, when you pen out and visually see what is the answer, that will help you remember better. Okay, and of course, we are just pointing out to the main points that will get you your full, let's say if it's 2 marks, then full 2 marks. Okay, so let me tell you what not to write. So, for example, right, if I ask you to explain why handkerchief took a short, can we just add one more word? Shorter time to dry. Okay, so change on. Maybe shorter time to dry, you don't just tell him because it's folded twice. Because everybody can see that. And if you're just gonna say because it's folded twice and you call that the answer, there is no concept, there is no marks. Okay, we can see this, there is no marks. So that actually goes into the clue. And then it took a shorter time to dry completely, that goes into your result. So usually when you plan your answer, you will see that a big blank opens up, and that is going to help you plan. Oh, what am I missing? What am I supposed to write here? Definitely not just folded twice. Can?
Mm.
Uh, Stranger, this one should be longer time, right? This, this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
there's a typo.
yeah, right. Okay, so hi, let's just change this. Okay, so took a longer time to dry. Can.
Mm. So I think the first T, which is talking about the topic, right? So let's go to the broader topic, right? What chapter is this? What topic in the primary five syllabus is this consisting of? Maybe we can talk about the water cycle. That's for the topic. First topic is more of the generic one, whereas the tester focus here, right, is the factors affecting the rate of evaporation. So you kind of directly link back to the um, whatever that we have went through in the first page of the worksheet. Yes, water cycle. Thank you so much. Totoro 22. Okay, and the tester focus here, right? When we talk about tester focus, it would most definitely be the factors affecting the rate of evaporation, right? Right, or you can simply write evaporation also. Okay, as long as you um, identify properly, right? The what is this question directly targeting at, then you are good to go. Okay, because this tester focus blank, right, is to help you identify which part of the chapter is this question asking about, and then you can zoom in clearer. And then the clue provided by the question will be from the diagram itself, where it says that handkerchief B was folded twice. Yes, this is directly linked to the clue, which is whatever Teacher Sayuri is drawing the arrows at. It's folded twice. And then from the clue, right, go back to the result, right? So we know that the result B will take a longer time to dry, right? Right? That will definitely be the result. So how do we link the clue to the result itself? How do you link from it being folded twice, right, to it taking a longer time to dry? How? Because we know that when you fold twice, what do you directly decrease? You decrease the amount of exposed surface area. Okay, so decrease the exposed surface area. So less water is spread across the whole entire surface, right? And then basically rate of evaporation decreases.
Can you put decreases behind so that we have a relationship? Okay, so over here, rate of evaporation decreases. Okay, so it's gonna end up taking a longer time to dry.
Longer time to dry.
Hmm. That's it. So basically, like,
Totoro, you said bigger exposed surface area affects the rate of evaporation, right? You are not wrong, but then if you were to answer in the context, right, in the context of the question is asking why BE takes a longer time to dry. So you cannot tell me the bigger exposed surface area lah.
you got to follow the question. Now we're talking about handkerchief B, so you got to focus on handkerchief B. So very streamlined, and this is actually a very common writing mistake. So right, when you choose B already, then you go and tell me why A is good, why A is so good. But actually, you should be telling me why B is no good. Yeah. Okay. Only focus on the setup that you want to talk about. Gotta flip the script. Okay, so let's just say, wow, we really have. I got sad face instead of thumbs up. I got one sad face from Johnny Tan. Why okay, I mean we can see from here. But thanks for putting a like. Okay, so if you're learning stuff so far, thank you. Okay, now you don't have to hang in with us, right? I just want to just sneak peek, right? What questions are coming up? Okay, so we have two PSLA questions, and they are weird. Okay, and if you are sitting for PSLE science this year, right, you have to expect the unexpected. You understand? Okay, so experiment-based questions are one of the weirder ones. Like this one, right? Look, the question says what? Why must Nico use her thumb instead of other fingers? What kind of science question is that, right? And then over here, you have bees and container and bees into a cage. It's like, okay. So questions can be like this, you see. It can be a little bit strange, but you can always fall back onto like what topic is in school. And then you'll see from there. And of course, you also have to see like what Joan has emphasized on. So this one was like we go a little bit slower because we wanted to build up the base, right? Which is you really know your change variable, constant variable, and measured variable very well. But then the moment you know all this and you have all this at the palm of your hand, you understand the question you can do already, for sure. Okay. Now, before I go on, okay, let's see if we make a quick announcement. Okay, as you know,
Teacher Sayuri,
yes.
should we invite our third special guest?
Okay, so our third special guest has been sitting with us for a while already, waiting for her turn to come in. Okay, so over here, hi, Teacher Jolene.
Hi, Teacher
Hi,
Jolene.
everybody. Sorry I'm late. Just ended a class. Hello. So I've been here and it's been very exciting. Is everybody excited for what we are about to share?
Yes, very excited. I'm excited.
I'm also excited. Today we are like dragging it a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
hope we all. I know today is the second day of school. Okay. Tiring, but thank you for still being here. And for those who don't know me, I'm Teacher Jolene. Hi, everybody. I get very excited when I talk about science. I always forget to introduce myself. Okay. Hi, I'm Teacher Jolene. I teach math and science, mainly science here. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you're seeing me around the center, if you've not met me before, please feel free to say hi. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
okay.
Alright, so I still have announcement. Alright, so wait, so over here, right, you know, we are having our 8-year running. So this is really our signature program for our primary sixes. Okay, so if you have not joined, what are you doing? You have to join this. Okay, so this is we call this our trilogy bootcamp. Okay, so there's chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. I mean, you can choose to come any of the chapters, or you can come all three. That would be heavily discounted. That's like even better. Okay, so but today we just want to talk about chapter 1 first, which is happening very soon, like in 1 week. Okay, so next Monday. Yeah, less than 1 week. Next Monday, we are having our experiment-based workshop. It is let me think. 65% serious and no 65% doesn't need much, 60% serious and 40% fun. Okay, so what happened is that first we will be teaching you all the basics, right? We will show you PSLE kind of experiment-based question. So right, if you think that just now teacher Joven's question is PSLE tier, no, it's not. This too. Okay, weird questions. Okay, and experiment-based question will teach you how to always identify, always score at your experiment-based question, which you will see things like variable, aim, hypothesis, conclusion, fair test, and also control setup. These words, right? Okay, you're gonna throw. I don't know what's control setup. I lose 1 mark here. Fair test, lose 2 mark there. Cannot. It's 10% of your paper. You will either count at your MCQ or your open-ended. Okay, you must identify correctly. You cannot be that student, right? In MCQ question, you still can't pick out what is the change variable. You will lose 10% of the paper, which is 10 marks, by the way. Okay, so because of that, right, we notice that this gap, right, we have to cover. It's not really covered in schools. Schools are too busy trying to cover what is like the school syllabus, the topics, and all that. And only once in a while they talk about experiment-based question. Okay, so we know that there's a gap. So that's why we are holding this workshop, which is an in-person workshop with, this time, if I'm not wrong, there will be Mrs. Cole, Mrs.
And
Linda Cole, and also teacher
Teacher.
Lowell.
Yeah.
Okay, so they will be teaching you the theory portion. And then after that, we will also the learning in the last 3 hours, you all will get to conduct your own experiment. The fun part, right? You study first in the morning. Then after that, you all get to do your own experiment. Okay, some individual, some group work. And then by the end of it, when you come out, you all should be very, very clear. Your variables, your aim, your hypothesis, you all must know how to write fair tests, okay, and also how to identify what's the control setup and conclusion. Can or not? So this is really, really skill based. It's not something that you can memorize on a textbook. So I really highly encourage that you join this if you have time. And just so you know, 6th July is not a school day, it's a school holiday. Okay, some parents actually kind of ask us, huh, but my kid is in school. No, you're not. Okay, it's not because that day is youth day, school holiday. So if you have nothing to do, okay, please join us. Right, we have our location has been switched back to Gold Hill Novena. Right, previously it was at SNU, but because of some logistic issue, we have to change our location back to Gold Hill, our main outlet at Novena. Okay, so if this is something that interests you, do sign up soon because hands-on, physical hands-on means that there's limited spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, not okay. So yeah, so this one is from the year that we do online. Then we decided that no, we want to do it in person instead. Okay, so this is just a few pictures. From 2022, but we hold it every year. This will be our 8 years. Time flies, really. Okay, I do this poster. I'm like, 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, 8th year already. Okay, great. So you didn't even know there's a holiday. Yeah, so Kai-en, you can join us, huh? So over here, yeah, all this thing you all must know. Can or not? Okay, great. So I have one more question from my end to go. Then I'll pass the time over to Teacher Jolene and Teacher Joven. Okay, so currently, right, look at this. This is 2022 PSLE question. 2022 is not that long ago. Okay, so here, right, it says that Nicole wants to study whether tea, liquid tea, is more effective at killing bacteria compared to soap. Okay, so whatever liquid tea is, it's being compared to soap because we use soap to wash our hands all the time. So whatever liquid tea is it better or is it worse? Interesting. Okay, so currently, what did she do? So very specific. She used her right hand on a tabletop. Okay, so she rubbed like that. Then after that, she cleaned her hand with soap ready. Then she recorded the number of bacteria on her tongue at 3 minutes and at 1 hour after cleaning with soap. That's oddly specific. And who does that, right? But it is a PSLE question for a reason. So, that's why I say I expect the unexpected because anything can come out in PSLE. Okay, but it really tests whether you understand how to design your experiment. Okay, great. So now in this case here, let's take a look. So with soap, after the 3 minutes, this much bacteria is on her right thumb. Okay, then after 1 hour, it shoots up back all the way back here. Okay, then after that, when she used tea, interestingly enough, right, even though she cleaned her hand really, I mean, this amount of bacteria left, I mean, you can't expect zero. After 1 hour, right, it didn't increase by much. Okay, so that means whatever surface that has liquid tea on it, most likely is not it's a very maybe a hostile environment for your bacteria to continue to reproduce, so you don't see it spike that much. Okay, so now currently, right, it says here, state how using the same thumb instead of other fingers help to make the study a fair test. Okay, so in this case here, yeah, why must use thumb? Why cannot just use thumb and later use finger? Why not just use three fingers instead? Like what's going on here? Anybody? What's going on here? Why must use thumb? Why must use the same right thumb? I can put a thumbs up here. Oh, Totoro, thank you. To ensure that the killing of bacterial wall, nice, is only due to the soap and liquid and not time. Okay. Okay, close, but not quite what I'm thinking of. And fat test for sure, but why? Time is the biggest. I think Kylan, you're getting there, but what about the time being the biggest? Okay, I hear things like accurate result, which is right. If you don't have a fair test, then you won't get accurate result. So different fingers not accurate result. Okay, but why time? Why not other fingers? Okay, now, even though you'll be like, huh, what has this got to do with anything, right? They are still allowed to write this question because this topic falls under P3 bacterial. Even though the rest of the question has nothing to do with bacterial, but the fact that they mention bacterial can already, because it is an experiment-based question after all, right? So, tested focus is still bacteria, or rather you can bring bacteria down here, and yeah, bacteria and fungi is one topic. The bigger topic is living things. The biggest topic is living things, subtopic bacteria. Okay, and but then nothing about this is P3 anymore because they are talking about how to design a fair test, isn't it? So over here, you want to end up with fair test, which also means accurate result. Okay, and the only clue they give you is in time. Instead of other fingers. Let's throw in more answer. I think time is the biggest fair test. Different finger will not have accurate result. Ah, you are getting that very good. Yes, it is exposed surface area. It's not just bigger. You want the same exposed surface area that rub on the table. Rather than this, like, I mean, if you compare like my thumb versus my pinky, or you just look at your thumb versus your pinky is way smaller, right? So if you use the second experiment with your pinky, then it is not going to be a fair test. So now we're going to flip the script around. Okay, so first and foremost, right, we have a fair test formula, okay, which is to ensure that your measured variable is only affected by your change variable. Okay, and change variable, by the way, is only between the time and liquid T, am I right? Okay, and not your other constant variable. Okay, so if you're my student, you will see this all the time, correct? We talk about this all the time. So here, this one over here is going to be your main answer, but let's plan it out. So what do we actually have? Same time means what? Means same exposed surface area. Okay, rubbing on the tabletop. Okay, so this one over here is considered your constant variable. So you want to keep the surface area of the thumb or the finger, okay, the finger being your thumb being the biggest finger, okay, on the tabletop. And then you also have what else? What is your measured variable here? Do we know? So this one over here, that's your constant variable. What is my measured variable? Thumb has the most exposed area, so we want to keep to the same one. So you rub it there. What else? What is measured variable? Well, I tell you, if I see this question, if I'm a P6, I see this question, I think I will be stunned for a good 10 seconds because it's a strange question, right? Because it requires us to imagine somebody actually doing this. What is the measured variable, anybody? Measured variable can be found from your graph. Thank you. Amount of bacterial. And they measure it 2 times, isn't it? Okay, after the process, there is a 3 hour and a 1 hour. So here is your measured variable. Number of bacteria on the time at 3 minutes and 1 hour after cleaning with either liquid or liquid tea or soap. Okay, so over here more effective at cleaning bacteria. So looking at that. Okay, that is your measured variable. And last one, your change variable is just between these two. So the, I would say, type of liquid, okay, which is tea and soap. Is there any way else they phrase it? No. Okay, so type of bacteria killing agent also can, but I don't think you need to write that. Don't worry. Okay, so in this case, this is your change variable. Now, when you piece everything together, remember to use your fair test formula. Okay, you want to get an accurate result. All you need to do is to pen everything back in. Okay, so to ensure that you don't need the word same anymore, right? Okay, you just need exposed surface area of thumb or finger rubbing on the tabletop. So this one over here is your constant variable. Measured variable, which is what they say, 3 minutes and 1 hour. This part here belongs here. And last one, the type of liquid or liquid that kills the bacteria. Okay, can or not? So that's how you phrase a experiment. So that means I can write you anything. Okay, today I want to talk about bacteria and soap. Another day I could be thinking about rabbits and carrots. Okay, the way you design your fair test is still the same. You're going to only have one change variable, you keep everything else the same. And if they ask you why must you keep it the same, it's because you don't want anything else other than the change variable to affect the change variable, which is the soap and liquid, to affect the outcome. Okay, your outcome is the result, it is the measured variable. Okay, can? All right, so I hope this actually opened up your eyes a little bit to what kind of PSLE question maybe. But soap, not liquid, because they didn't say tea is a soap. You see, I suspect that tea could be hand sanitizer. Okay, because the hand sanitizer you don't wash off, right? Basically, your hand sanitizer stays in your hand. So when you use hand sanitizer, the hand sanitizer will provide a hostile environment for your bacteria to land on. So you'll be better protected for a little bit longer as compared to soap. Okay, so if you don't want liquid, you could also say type of substance that kill the bacteria. That'll be a bit longer, but you can also write that. Type of bacteria killing substance, which is, well, soap and liquid tea. Okay, so this could be a phrasing as well. And so as long as the PSLE examiner understands that you understand how to design the experiment for a fair test, you'll get your marks. Okay, but you still need to mention all three variables. Am I clear? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so I actually have to go. I have something on. Okay, so I will pass my time back to Teacher Jolene, which will be talking about another PSLE question and also a very common photosynthesis experiment-based question. Photosynthesis almost always come in the form of experiment-based question. Okay, Ken? All right, so thank you for joining me.
Thank you,
Okay, and
Teacher
thank you for
Sayuri.
us. Yes, I have to
Bye,
go because I have something
Teacher
on.
Sayuri.
Bye
Okay, so the
Thank
rest of you
you.
hang in there.
bye.
Hang in there. Okay, so give us more likes. Okay, and more hearts. All right, and yeah, I'll see you all next week.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, hold on, yeah. My turn to share.
Usually I'll
Teacher
be
Go,
with you, don't worry. I'll
can
be here.
you? Oh yes, I wanted to share. Are you gonna be here with me? Am I gonna be alone?
No, I will be with you. I will be with you. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. If not, I'll be
I share
lonely.
yours, huh?
Okay, come. Yeah.
Hold on,
Okay.
huh?
Can. Hi everybody, I'm Teacher Jolene. Are you all still here with me? Or am I just gonna be talking with Teacher Jovan? Oh? Teacher Jovan left?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I accidentally clicked.
No worries.
sorry.
Students, no problem. Students, I don't want to hold you back any longer. Okay, what I'm gonna do is that I will go through the questions, and then if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I am here. Hi, thank you for being here. Okay, so students, I am just gonna hop right into the question already. My questions are, I wouldn't say easy, but I wouldn't say difficult as well. But definitely, this question 3 stunned me lah when I first saw this question. Okay, I honestly think this question is really quite difficult.
Wow.
So let's look at this question together. Honestly, I'm thinking about my answer, right? I'm like a bit, okay, but we shall see this together, okay? Because all of you are very smart, right? I see all your answers. Everybody can do. So you all should be very well prepared for my question. Okay, so Jia Xuan investigated the effect of substance N. Whatever substance N is, I have no clue, but we shall see. Okay, R and S using a circular cage. Container R, sugar, water only. Container S, sugar, water, and substance N. Okay, and a circular cage. Then this Jia Xuan, right, what she do? She introduced bees and closed the opening. She counted the number of number of times the bees visited each container for a duration of 3 hours. On day 1, day 5, and day 10. Okay? Suggest how and the arrangement of the containers allow for a fair test. I don't know. Everybody, I don't know. Students, first of all, let us start by what is my change variable in this question first. We don't get ahead of ourselves, okay? We don't scramble to immediately think about the answer. We look at the question first, and then we see like, oh, what is the change variable? Can you at least tell me that? What's the change variable? This one you confirm can tell me.
Are you okay,
Aya.
Teacher?
No, nobody answer me. I very difficult. I need to cough already. Yeah. So students, can you at least tell me the change variable? Cannot, meh? Totoro, thank you. I love I super love watching Totoro. I love the movie.
I'm so sorry. I thought Totoro was the sashimi.
Totoro is not sashimi, what? Is it?
No,
I think it is also. It is. Okay, Totoro is a movie too. Okay, this is the change variable. Very well done. Substance N is also the change variable. Because one got substance N and one no substance N, ma. Very good. This one, at least all y'all get it. Okay? I love sashimi too. Okay. So then, students, remember just now, Teacher Sayuri already taught y'all how to go through fair test question. Remember? Can y'all tell me what's the template? What's the fair test template? Cannot answer immediately.
I think
but now can already.
There's a lag. So when we say, right, it'll take some time for them to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can.
So
So then what's the fair test template? Do y'all know? Can y'all remember? What did Teacher Sayuri share? To ensure that the MV is only affected by the CV and not the CV given in the question. Right? Yes. Very well done. So students, although, they have not taught this question before. I don't know about bees. I don't know about substance N. I don't know about sugar, water at all. But we know how to answer a fair test question. Okay? So, straightforward. Let's go through this. To ensure that what's the MV here? Introduce B. She counted the number of times bees visited each.
The number of bees.
Yep, the number of times.
Yes, number of times the bee visited.
Bees visited. each
Container.
each container to ensure so this is my measured variable, right? So it's only affected by, remember you all told me the substance N already, and that is the change variable. So it's only affected by the presence of substance N. I will stop here because I'm very curious what you all will tell me. What do you all think about the CV that is given by the question, and not the what? I want to see your answers for this. I'm very curious because this took me a while also. What do y'all think? It's not cheese lah. Ayah.
Cheese? What is cheese?
I don't know what is cheese. And not the what? What do y'all think? I want to see y'all try. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong, because I know this is quite funny. Teacher Jovan, what do you think?
Sorry?
What do you think? What do you think is the variable that is given by the question? The change variable that is given by the question.
Wait, sorry. Can you remove the... I cannot see the question.
Oopsie.
Question says arrangement of containers, so maybe? I don't know.
Not the arrangement of the container. Actually can be a little bit more specific leh.
Yeah.
We can jump in a little bit more.
We leave it a bit broad for them to answer some.
Yeah. But it's something about what I've highlighted already. So students, you take note, right? Because they said that the introduced bees into the cage and closed the opening. So why does the opening needs to be closed? Time? What do you mean time? And not the time. Sugar. Yeah. And not the... Actually, you know what? Actually, I think I'll accept lah. The arrangement... Wait
Of container.
Of the container, yeah. Because this question really, it's quite funny. And yeah, so it's either you can say and not the arrangement of the container or...
The distance.
I was thinking distance also, but I feel like distance wouldn't affect leh. I'm thinking about the bees not getting out also.
No, but because the distance of which, let's say, if your container S is closer to the opening,
then the bees will tend towards that, right? Yeah.
So,
you know what? Let's do that also lah. And the presence and not the arrangement or slash the distance of containers. Okay, I can accept both answers actually. Okay. And yeah, you see, so bees will not fly out, right? I was thinking that actually can be a possible answer as well because they close the opening, right? But let's just leave it as this, yeah, students. Okay, this is a very interesting question, and I believe they will accept a few answers for this as well. Okay, good try, very awesome job. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Question 4. Okay, this is my last question already. Okay, I hope you are not sick of me yet. Okay, we are almost there. Okay. I still one more. Okay, sorry. Part B, okay. So Betty prepared set ups A and B as shown to find out the amount of carbon dioxide affects the rate of photosynthesis. This question is very wonderful. They tell you the aim, you can immediately say that the amount of carbon dioxide is your change variable. Rate of photosynthesis is your measure variable. This type of question is the best. Very straightforward. Okay? When baking soda was mixed in water, it released carbon dioxide. Oh my goodness, students, this is a huge clue for you guys already. Okay? This is a huge clue. What is needed for photosynthesis? What does the carbon dioxide play? What role does the carbon dioxide play? So remember that. So students, what result should she collect to measure the rate of photosynthesis? What is something that she can collect? When you see this word collect, it must be something that she can physically see, right? And that she can maybe perhaps count, right? In order for her to collect.
In other words, right, this question part is actually asking you what's the measured variable.
Yes,
Hmm.
correct. Students, you cannot tell me photosynthesis formula. You cannot tell me just oxygen. What do you mean oxygen? Can I see oxygen? How to count oxygen? Yes, Kai-en,
Yes.
bubbles.
Oh.
But you cannot just write bubbles, Kai-en. Can you tell me your full answer? You just put bubbles, I also cannot accept the answer. What do you mean bubbles? Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Number of bubbles produced. I want to go one step further. Right? Number of bubbles that is produced. You know what? I'm going to go even more specific. Produced by the water plants. Okay? This would be the perfect answer. Because what if the number of bubbles is from something else, leh? Right? So in this case, you want to make sure the number of bubbles is produced by the water plants. This is something that I can collect and measure. Okay? So very well done, students. Let us move on. State two variables that must be kept the same to ensure a fair test. So you see, they are guiding you towards a fair test question. But now they're just asking you for two variables that must be kept the same. So what are the two variables? In other words, this is called constant variable, yeah? Okay, this is another word for it, constant variable. Anybody can tell me, pause before I continue. Students, when you're answering this type of constant variable question, right, please, I beg you, do not tell me things that are already here. Okay, do not tell me things that are already given because that will be wrong. Okay, give me something else.
I see one. You say light intensity.
Light intensity, very good. But I want to bring it a step further. I want to say distance between the lamp and the setup. This is a lot more accurate. Hey, thank you, Kai-en. Very well done.
Oh, thank you.
Kai-en, perfect. Perfectly good job. Good job.
Eileen,
Okay.
temperature of the lamp, not really.
What do you mean temperature of the lamp? How
Facing a
you
bit
record the temperature of the lamp? Okay,
Good try,
students,
though.
another tip for you is you must think about the factors affecting photosynthesis. Okay? What other factors will affect photosynthesis? This will be your constant variable already. Type of lamp. I don't really like type of lamp, but you're not wrong. It can be type of lamp, but this will lead to light intensity also. Chi Sing, very well done. The water plant. Okay, I would love that. Okay, the number of leaves each water plant has. Or you want to tell me type of water plant also can. Okay, I accept both.
Actually, Angeline she wrote
amount of carbon dioxide cannot. You know why? Because down here we are talking about baking soda already, and baking soda release carbon dioxide. So Angeline cannot. Okay? Sean, temperature of water, you know what? Let me see, did they talk about the same amount of water? Sean, I can accept your temperature of water because if the temperature of water is too high, your plant will die. I can accept. Okay, but I don't really like it.
It affects the rate of photosynthesis also. So it really depends on the master.
Really like it. Okay, so students, these are the answers. We are dragging a little long already, so I will move on. Okay, guys. If you have any questions, we will be on the Telegram chat. Please just let us know. I will reply you personally. Okay.
Titus,
so we move on to the next
purity of water is not considered. How do you measure the purity of water?
Yeah, cannot lah. Okay, so based on so tell me which setup represents the result. Okay, let me see. Yeah, go and see the setup. Okay, so one sorry, a bit laggy. So one setup is 10 grams of baking, one setup is 50 grams of baking soda. So this is if the more baking soda is given, it will release more carbon dioxide, right? More carbon dioxide means greater rate of photosynthesis, right? So here will be my setup B, and here will be my setup A. Okay? Students, mine is a very bad habit. You all put set up B and then set up A. Okay, don't be lazy. Don't be like me. Okay, like this. Oh, what does Telegram chat mean? Oh my goodness, y'all don't know. But
So
basically,
we
it's
do
like
have a Telegram. It's like WhatsApp like that. It's a WhatsApp group. Okay, I've actually pinned the link to our Telegram group chat inside the comment section. So basically, you can go inside there. Any important announcements we release there. Our weekly Facebook Live, what's it called? Worksheets will also be there.
yes,
And then workshops or any notes or any
upcoming activities. Yeah.
all will be posted there. So it's best that you guys join. Okay, if you guys don't have your Telegram, you don't have Telegram downloaded on your phone, ask your parents to join. Okay, it'll
Yes.
be quite good also because over there you can get complimentary notes sometimes and questions as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes the teachers will just share extra information like randomly.
Yes.
So you'll never know what's there lah. Okay? A lot of exciting stuff. Okay, so that's last question. Okay,
Last
her teachers
question
told
already.
her that her experiment could be further improved by adding a control setup, right? What is the purpose of a control setup? Who can give me the answer? I will. Okay, I don't know what I'll give you. I will think about it. Okay, but who can give me the answer? What is the purpose of a control setup? There's a template for this. Anybody can give me?
Maybe we wait for a while for the thing.
Yeah,
to...
I'm waiting. I don't want to give the answer immediately. Hello, everybody. Everybody don't want to sleep, purposely, right? You all don't want to sleep early, right?
Tomorrow got school.
Yeah, but remember all the students always don't like to sleep early and they like to sleep late. So, students, how to answer control setup question?
I think they're not too sure. Oh, wait.
Oh, to serve as a comparison, almost.
Wow, okay. She's saying, I see your answer. To compare and confirm that measured variable is only affected by change variable and not other.
She's saying you are amazing. Very well done. I am going to copy whatever you have written down. To compare and confirm that the MV is only affected by the CV and not any other factors. Very well done. Congratulations to you. Good job. So students, obviously this I cannot write down as my answer because what is the MV and what is the CV? So let us answer this all together. So to compare and confirm that what's the measure variable we have identified at the beginning, right?
Number of bubbles.
The measure variable is the rate of photosynthesis. Right? Is it not?
The number of bubbles produced what?
Measure variable. Oh yes, sorry. You're right. The number of bubbles produced.
Yeah.
And aka this is the rate of photosynthesis, right?
Yeah. So take note, your measure variable must be something that you can physically measure. That's why it's called measure variable. Okay?
Okay. I will just tell you what does this represent? Like, it's basically representing the rate of photosynthesis that is given in the question, right? So to compare and confirm that the number of bubbles produced is only affected by the, what is my change variable is given? The amount of carbon dioxide, right? Amount of carbon spell wrongly. Okay, this is the baking soda, right? And not any other factors. Very good job.
And then
okay, students, we are officially done. This has got to be the longest Facebook Live for since forever. Okay.
So if you're actually one thing more from us, right? We're actually having a 5 weeks in a row series starting next week, which is on higher order thinking skills intensive. So more information will be disseminated sooner, closer to next week. Okay, so stay tuned. It'll be a 5-week program. So every Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. Okay.
Okay, students, so remember today we went through all the experimental based question, control setup, fair test questions. And then don't forget that next Monday, we actually have this very exciting thing happening. So I hope to see you guys there. Maybe I'll show up to show some moral support. Okay? So if you are there, maybe I'll see you there. Okay?
Yeah.
Students, and if
Okay.
if you have no other questions, we are done for today.
Yes. Thank you for staying with us for like the past 1 hour 15 minutes. Yeah, I know it hasn't been.
Yes.
It's not easy staying on the screen for 1 hour 15 minutes just watching us talk and talk and talk. So yes, good job. Okay, so now go and get plenty of rest, and we'll see you next week again. Okay.
Yes, have a wonderful good first week of school, guys.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Night.